That boy said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. To a Muslim man on television.
We know the United States election is coming up in a couple of days, and everything is heated up, everything is tensed up, and this election is very vital to how the United States is going to go and how the entire world, Africa, Middle East is going to move, because whether we like it or not, the United States rules or control a lot part, like whatever happens politically in the United States affect the rest part of the world, especially the third world country. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, we want to talk about the CNN interview that has gotten a lot of people talking, and talking about the dynamic between this election and how some of these people truly see us. So in this, there was a panel where they were discussing the election, the Trump thing and everything. And there's this guy, Mahdi Hasan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that. I don't want to call, I'm not going to call him, so I don't. Mahdi Hasan. Did I get that name correctly? Okay, anyway. Mahdi Hasan and a Trump supporter they were having a conversation. I think Ryan something was his name. I don't care. They were having the conversation about the election, Trump, Palestine, and all that. And Hassan has always been a very open speaker because he's Muslim and he's from the Middle East. He has always been a very vocal speaker of the Free Palestine movement and ceasefire in Gaza. And they were having the conversation, and Hassan actually went on and said, you know what, I support the Palestinian people. And you know what this Ryan Trump supporter guy said? He said, I hope your beep don't goes off. And that narrates a whole lot of things which we're going to get into later on. But if you know what that joke is or what that statement is, I hope your beep don't go up. That was a threat on the life of Hassan, because a couple of weeks ago in September, we saw how the Israel designated a lot of pages that was used by people in Palestine and in Lebanon, used by mostly the Hamas people of the group Hamas, and a lot of people was affected, including civilians. So hearing this man boldly threaten this man's life just because he was Muslim and he supports the Palestine, and this man decided to double down to say, you know what, oh, I thought you said you support Hamas. Anyway, guys, I need you guys to see this video because this video has gotten viral. This CNN video has gotten viral and has gotten a lot of people talking. So I need you guys to see it, and then we'll come back and talk more.
You don't want to be called Nazis. Stop doing.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people would sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. Okay. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die.
You should not.
No,
did you just say I should be?
No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope you.
Let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas.
Guys, let me
stop. Palestinians.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan,
that's disgusting.
that is completely.
I apologize.
Good job, CNN. Let's have first block say the Muslim guy should be blown up.
I apologize.
On TV.
Don't say then I apologize. You literally.
I thought you said Hamas.
You didn't think I said Hamas. I said I supported Palestinian rights.
Yes, I did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny is Rudy Giuliani said this yesterday, so you're a great guest to be here to defend Rudy Giuliani.
I wasn't going to entertain nonsense today, and so at this point,
this is what we're in now. This is America in 2024.
Here's what I will say.
Forget the racism.
That's right.
I should.
I didn't say that. You said
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your fake
ignorance. I did not say you should die.
Why did you say with my beeper?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper? What did you mean by the beeper? No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
You gotta bring it back.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis, but I'm going to threaten the brown guys.
I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. Man. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said right here, apologize, but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even say it to me.
I didn't say
that was disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for Republicans.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you said it.
Why don't you take this back a little?
Please let me know what you think about this entire the conversation went more like I had time to really listen to that the entire conversation, which was very interesting, because I feel like this US election that is coming up is really showing some people, like at 2024, so a lot of people, grown men that knows the truth, grown women that knows the truth, are still very racist, very Islamophobic, like, why can't you disagree and but do it in a respect? But the fact that you are wishing on a life of somebody just because of what the person stands for is just mind blowing. And this is why, like, I will always bring up political content here and there. That's because whether we want to admit it or not, it affects our life directly or indirectly. Even us in Africa, however the election process go on in the US affect us, the third world country. But let me know what you think about what they said of him talking about how the people will not go off, and how immediately the man said, I support the Palestine. The first thing that came to his head was the Hamas. And why will he associate Hamas to the Palestinians? Like, you see what we're talking about. So anyway, let me know I have so much to say about this. If you guys know, I'm very passionate about conversations like this. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. I'd love to know your own take on this. But let's go check out people's response, because this has gotten the entire internet to have this conversation about what's going on with this election, the rally, the Trump people, the Harris, everything going on, and even with this CNN conversation. Let's go check people's thoughts, and then we'll come back and talk more.
That boy said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off, to a Muslim man on television who said he supports the Palestinian people. And then when he realized that his dog whistle was heard around that entire table, he backtracked and said, oh, I thought you said Hamas. Since when does Palestinian and Hamas sound the same? I don't even think the great Eminem himself could make those two words sound the same. I hope your beeper don't go off. What does that mean? I wish they would have let him finish and not said another word and say, we are not moving on until you give us a breakdown of what the hell that meant. I need you to show your work. We're not moving on to nothing. We're going to sit right here until you explain yourself what the hell that meant when you said it to that man. Break it down for us.
Had that been me on that CNN roundtable, y'all would have been trying to figure out why they showing a rerun of Jerry Springer. We would have been mixing up. The cameras would have been acting like Maury, chasing us behind the scenes. They are too comfortable with knowing they are not going to receive consequences. I just saw a video of a young man saying, y'all only going to Kamala's rallies and sparking up all that controversy and hooping and hollering because y'all feel safe. Y'all know that we're not that group that be attacking people. I would never go to a Trump rally and argue or heckle nothing. They'll knock the lines right out my face. Okay, I have my glasses all the way in Timbuktu. Absolutely not. We got to do better. They are two sides of the same coin. On one end, they are not frightened of the consequences of us. And on the other end, they are so frightened by the consequences of us. They're taking their mask off in real time, showing us everything they got, because that's how scared they are of our power.
Yep.
If that doesn't get you to want to go vote, that's all I know.
I hope your beeper doesn't go off on live TV is nasty work. And on CNN, no less. Not to say that they're patron saints, but they are far from Fox News. Like, what do you think this was? Like, no one on that panel was rocking with him at all. They came quick to shut that down. And Mahdi Hasan leapt across the table and hit Ryan Gildusky with a Shoryuken. He wouldn't have been in the wrong. Just straight up rattle his dome right then and there, because you talking cash money right there. And CNN came out with that statement with the quickness. They were not trying to be caught lacking like MSNBC. They saw Ta-Nehisi Coates, they were like, yeah, that's not going to be us. On a real note, that's a real crazy thing to say, because like there's not many other ways you can infer that statement that doesn't refer to Israel using pages. That's just a very strange thing to say on live TV in a conversation about Palestine and Israel. It's a very weird thing to say. Like, that's wildly specific and wildly inflammatory. Like, nah, he had to get go.
Everyone is shocked by Ryan Gildusky's, comment towards Mahdi Hasan, but I'm not. Zionists have been letting the mask slip for a while now. But what does surprise me is CNN's response and how quickly they didn't let him back for the next segment and then quickly put out a statement, distancing themselves from his comment. When, this is the same company that put out the IDF-friendly PTSD article.
What are the Palestinians? I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
What did he just say? What did he just say? He just hoped that his beeper don't go off? So basically alluding what Israel has done to the Palestinian people by, hijacking supplies of beepers and using them as incendiary devices to harm Palestinian individuals or people who are against them existing as a invalid statehood. Let's just be honest about that, right? I never understand how Western politics has become just a joke. Something so serious, something so vital to day-to-day lives, people are taking as a joke. You are basically dog whistling on live air towards someone who supports Palestinian just existing in the land that they were born and bred in, comparison to another group that was invalid for being placed there, that was forced and has put Palestinians in an open air missile prison for the last how many years now? And for anybody to still at this point still support them is either one, you don't have any humanity left. Two, you think that you are doing the right thing, and that's a lie. We both know it. And three, the biggest thing is this: you see their lives as less than, and that is the reason why you think it's perfectly okay to attack hospitals, doctors, individuals and programs trying to give out food, first aid help. You are perfectly okay with that, because if that was me on that CNN broadcast, that he would have said something like that, it would have taken every single technical producer, cameraman, assistant to keep me off him. Period. It would have took every single person on that broadcast to keep me off him. Because what? Like, share, comment. Pro-Palestinians, y'all don't have to believe us. Hispanic people for Trump. I hope your beeper doesn't go off. Would have got me real unprofessional real quick. I'm just being real. I would have gotten really disrespectful in that conversation. And from the Republican side, you're watching this rise in racial tension, bigotry, and them even being comfortable saying this shit on television, right? We watched the Madison Square Garden rally where you had guys get on there and say Palestinians are raised to be violent at the age of 2. You're watching a comedian get on there and talk about how Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage. To Nick Bosa on the NFL stage where Colin Kaepernick was berated, where Colin Kaepernick was told to shut up, where LeBron James was told to shut up and dribble, where all these black athletes were told to be quiet politically, but Nick Bosa was allowed to come on air and show the great Make America Great hat again. This is what a Trump presidency would look like. Mm-hmm. They're showing you their true colors in the last weeks coming into the election. Yep. And it happened in 48 hours. All this has happened in a matter of 48 hours. So, hey man, listen, y'all don't have to believe us pro-Palestinians. Y'all don't have to believe us Hispanic people for Trump. You ain't got to believe us, bruh. They're showing y'all.
The actual craziest thing about that CNN panel, though, is not just what he said, but what he does directly afterwards. Like, Mahdi Hasan goes, I'm pro-Palestinian. The guy goes, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. And as everyone's going like, whoa, what the you just say? Like, that was really racist. He goes, oh, I thought I heard pro-Hamas. I thought you said you were pro-Hamas. First of all, the idea that this guy heard Palestinian and thought Hamas, okay, noted. But even that is not the craziest part. The craziest thing is that he then goes, while everyone is still saying like, yo, what the you just say? He goes, so do you support Hamas? He doubles down. In the middle of being called out for saying something obviously and blatantly racist, he doubles down and puts Mahdi Hasan on the spot and goes, actually, do you support Hamas? You know, I was just making a joke about you needing to be up, but on second thought, who did you vote for in 2006, The logic of Zionism demands that you be racist, and in fact, when you are called out for that racism, that logic only then demands you be more racist.
Us as BIPOC people, we have to let go of the trauma and the gaslighting that people have instilled in us, that we're the savages and that we're the violent ones. Because the way that man set up on that stage and looked that man dead in his face and told him he hopes his beeper doesn't go off was all I'm trying not to get upset because I know what it feels like to want to fight, but you want to be the bigger person. But there's no bigger person in this fight. You should have whooped that man's. You should have slapped the dog shit out of him and told him, don't ever play with me like that. Because that man threatened your life. We have to get out this mind frame that peace be with us and all that shit. There's a saying. It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war. Tell these people, show these people to stop playing with you. Because God has never put me in that situation. And I think I know why. Because my hands think quicker than my brain does. And if somebody ever plays with my life, or the life of my family, or the life of my children, babe, I'll go to war for it. You should have missed the slapping the shit out that man and went and sat back down like he was trying to backpedal on stage, and you should have got back on topic. Yeah, you should have whooped his ass.
Think so?
I never called you an Antisemite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is,
Y'all should have whooped his ass. He should have dog walked. For those that don't know, there was you could call it a terrorist attack committed by the IDF, right? Google it. I'm not going to say their name because you know they be quick to take your shit down. Them folks we can't talk about. A literal war crime was committed when they basically hacked cell phones and beepers and pagers and sent them over into Palestine and Hezbollah, and basically like offed a bunch of people. Even civilians were impacted by this. So when he made that joke, he basically like, bruh, this is why like the whole left wing or liberal people, right? The blue side, Democrat, whatever you want to call them, the white side of y'all, right? Not the black.
Y'all, this is why y'all don't do nothing. Right? Because clearly them folks over there on their red side, they will say, they will do, they have walked unchecked since Obama left office. Meanwhile, y'all sit and let them folk do anything. And the reason why them white liberals and left, whatever them, they don't do anything because at the end of the day, they share one thing with them people on the right: skin color. And they know at the end of the day, they're not going to be the main ones impacted by the shit that people of color have to then go in and endure or suffer the consequences of them not doing anything. See, they'll talk, they'll get on panel like, dude, you supposed to get decked in your shit, live TV or not. You are supposed, that's a crash out moment. And it would have been justified. They just sitting there, wow, Even when it comes to legislation and policy and politics, they just be putting round, bro. Meanwhile, Trump got up in there, put all his judges on the district courts, did everything. It's just like why? And it's just sad because that conversation didn't even get to be had because they always CNN is competing with Fox News. So politics as a whole in America has been less about policy and actual politics and more about entertainment. It's turned into the WWE. Because instead of having real conversation about what's going on, they bring some right-wing dude on there. He says some outlandish shit. Everybody gets mad, and we're talking about that instead of the things that actually are supposed to matter. All this disinformation, nobody cares about the actual facts in 2024. And that's going to be this country. We want to be entertained. They got black folk running with the narrative that black men ain't supporting Kamala Harris. And despite the numbers actually show she holds our support at 85%. And she has 14 more points with the support of black men compared to Biden. But nobody's going to listen to that because that's not what gets the people riled up. It's not what gets people clicking on the Shade Room or clicking on Fox like that. They don't care. That's not what gets people clicking on TikToks so that people can make content off of it. People don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear facts. Mind you, these are the same people who don't even know what are the 5 essential responsibilities of the executive branch. They don't even know the executive branch is the president. Outside of the president, they don't know who else's name is going to be on that ballot. Like, I'm just going to be so glad when all this shit is over and this shit just blows up in our face because I'm going to just be on the side like I told y'all. I got almost a 50 video playlist about the things that's been going on in this world and geopolitics, and nobody cares. But when it pops off, you'll care then, and we'll come back to this election.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. First, I want to apologize to Mahdi Hasan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election. But we can have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse. Want to address that, and I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other, we want to be able to talk to each other, and we plan to do that in this next segment.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought about the people's response to what happened on that CNN show and even CNN's apology. Go down in the comment section and share your thought. But as always, please be respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts. Okay, so for me personally, like some of you guys, like the other brother kind of explained it very well, but that page, some were like, oh, what does it mean? First, that structure of the word that I hope your beep doesn't goes off in 2 scenarios, which I'm going to explain to you guys. First off is that it's more known in terms of in the world there's this stereotype around Muslim, especially people from the Middle East, as being terrorists. And talking about the beeper of is the self-explosive. Okay, so that's one of the beeper. And secondly, the other beeper was the one that went off in Lebanon, in all part of Lebanon. I think I can't remember the date, but sometime in September. That was when this whole downpour of Israel attacking Lebanon, attacking Palestine. And we've known since October 7th last year, they've been active. Israel has actively been throwing, like really hitting so hard on Gaza. And if you really do your research on that story, on the entire Gaza, the Palestinian people, it's very heartbroken. So, but for this man to be on stage and comfortably speaking that out, so like the second one I was saying was what went off in Beirut, sometime in September, where pages of the group called Hamas, and whether you guys want to accept it or not, Hamas is a political body and also a terrorist body, and so that's a way for them to communicate without the whole technology bridge. And Israel was able to dissect into it, and a lot of pages went off. And one of the ways it went off was the pa-pa-pa-pam, the beeper sound came up, and then there was explosion in multiple places where there were a lot of civilians, and a lot of civilians were affected, and a lot of civilians were killed. I happened to be in Lebanon at the day that incident happened, and it was really terrifying because everybody was checking up on everybody, because it happened in the supermarket and on the streets, like places that civilians would normally be. This is where this beeper went off. So hearing this man go on CNN, and threaten a Muslim man like that openly, that's because these people, especially the Zionists, they know they have no consequences in their action. And one thing I want to tell the people in America that are voting and all that, like, vote wisely, like whatever you're going to vote. Yes, I know, yes, both ends are going to support Israel either way. But do you know one thing I know for sure is that Israel does not want Kamala Harris to be there. They rather have a man, which is Donald Trump, than to have a woman. So that's another thing you guys have to. I'm not campaigning for anybody, but that's one thing, because whoever to take over to become the next president of the United States is going to affect everybody worldwide. It's going to affect the Middle East. It's going to affect Africa. It's going to affect the United States. So it's not just one person. And this is where I am begging you guys, like, vote wisely. The election's around the corner, just a couple of days away. Make sure you're out there, vote. I know there's this guys like, oh, Trump has win. Oh, there's no need to vote. Some people are saying, oh, they don't want Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is going to support Israel, and she has said it openly. But one thing you should know is that the Prime Minister of Israel does not want Kamala Harris there because she's a woman. The fact that she's a woman, he doesn't even want her. Even though the United States of America is openly like supports Israel, he doesn't want her. So that's one thing you guys should know. And it's so crazy how this election, and because I've been following this election like tick, 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 because I don't know, for me, like, I think I follow this election even way more than I even follow the election in my country, because I know this election is going to structure a lot, it's going to shift a lot of things, and it's very important. And this is where I beg you guys, go out and vote. If you have not voted, go out and vote, and be very, very intentional. Don't be, oh, because she's a woman, oh, because no, she's not black, oh, because, oh, yeah, vote for vote for a policy that will benefit you and protect you, because a lot of the policy I'm seeing on the other side, especially for women, does not protect us as women, does not, like, no. And you see, these people, the Trump people, there's a video, maybe I'll look for that video and probably post it, maybe, I don't know, soon. There's a video that is going on the Trump rally, and you need to hear some of the things that was being said in that rally. It's so, racism was just like the heart of it. Colorism was out of it. Like a whole lot of disrespect for people that are not white. And if you are a white person and you have a critical thinking and you're not racist and you want to do the right thing, do the right thing. Don't be on the wrong side of the law, because whoever is the next president of the United States and the next coming of days is going to affect our lives, everybody's life. Everybody. I know somebody said, Destiny, you're in Nigeria. It affects me. Because whatever international body, international laws, international sanction, it comes down to this. Because one thing I know is that places like Africa, they just follow suit what the Americans are doing. And if you don't do according to what the American government wants from you, you're being sanctioned. So this is a very critical time worldwide. But what I want to accept is that America, they are in the heart of everything. And when they talk about, another thing I also want to touch on, I know I'm kind of really ranty here, and this is because this is like hitting. One thing I also want to really talk about is that you see a lot of these Zionists, aka some white people, talking about how Black people, people of color are violent and all that. Can you guys see how violent you are? Because if you look generally in the world, people that is causing havoc, atrocity, genocide in the world are caused by white people. And some people don't know the history of Israel or how Israel got into Middle East and all that. And you need to see some of the documentary about Israel, the immigrant, they call them the settlers, how they claim people, the original people of the land, the Palestinian people's property, homes, farms, land, and everything. And those people are telling the Palestinians to go to Egypt, that the rest part of the world support them so much, they should go. Do you know who started this whole thing? It's the British people, because people are not even talking about the British, what the role the British play in this atrocity that is still happening in 2024. The British people was the one that gave the land to Israel people. The British people are the one that gave the land to the Jewish people that was attacking the Holocaust in Germany. And yet, how can a white man that is not from the Middle East be given something he does not own? That is how entitled some of these white people are. Especially the ones that are not racism. Learn your history, because a lot of us didn't know this history until a couple of years ago. How are you giving what you don't have? And there's a lot of entitlement that makes these white people feel like they are better than us Black people, people of color, and we need to clock it. Because sometimes even people of color, sometimes because there's an hierarchy, they feel they are better, or their proximity to white makes them better. But the entitlement that comes with it, you guys should do better, you guys should vote better, because the next couple of days is very crucial, guys. Like, I'm just going to end it here. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead and share your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl. So go on and do that, because more people really need to join in conversations like this. So go on and do that, okay? Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.